Doesn't he have great hair? Come on.
Are we getting a line from him?
Yeah.
Are you a senior?
Yeah, I'm a senior.
Are you a senior? What are you going to do with your musical talent there?
I'm gonna go to Duquesne for music education.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Hey.
Outstanding. I got the principal here too. You guys like your principal?
Are we picking up the audio? Are we picking up the audio?
Walter Grace has been very, very kind to us and very welcoming and friendly to us, and even showed me where the faculty.
Are we picking up audio?
Get that microphone up there so we can actually text me. Okay. It's like downstairs, and you turn left, and you turn right, and then you go to a minefield.
It's a big building.
It's a big building.
It's beautiful.
It's a very nice building, though.
Yeah.
I like it. Tell me about your jazz band here.
They're fantastic. They represent us very well in their concerts and their performances, and they're just wonderful. We only have good kids at Baldwin High School.
Oh, is that right?
That's correct.
No bad. You know what I did do? I actually, since you mentioned that, let me see if I can find this here. I got so much stuff in front of me here. I found, I looked you guys up to see the alumni from the school. All right, and I found that Orrin Hatch, the senator,
That's true.
He graduated from here.
He did many years ago.
Okay. You weren't here at that time.
No, I was not.
And then was it Dave Wanstead?
Yes.
Right. He graduated from former coach at the Pitt football.
Yes.
Yeah. And he graduated here.
I don't know if he graduated, but he was here for quite a while.
Okay, because I had the whole list here. Now I seem to have lost it, but like I usually do with all my stuff. But because we have so much stuff here, we're on remote. But you had quite an illustrious history. Well, what I noticed was when we always contact the school ahead of time to find out, what you guys would like to feature, because we like to give you guys a nice shout out when we go to the school. And everything is about music. As far as I can tell, I'm serious.
No, we have something for everybody. It's not just music, but we have a great athletic program, good academic program.
Highlanders.
I mean, the Highlanders, yes.
Doing great.
But no, we really try to strive to have something for everybody.
Okay, well, then today you have us, for better or for worse, right? Right. All right, how many of you are, wait a minute, is he old enough to be here? Yeah. Get a microphone over here, come on, let's go. Let's get on the stick here.
I am.
Well, how old are you, what's your name?
I'm called Bo, I'm 14.
You're 14, okay, I'm sorry, I thought you were 7. I'm sorry, I really am, because I asked the principal, I said, is he supposed to be here? Okay, you're a freshman, I take it.
Yeah.
All right, do I get here?
Yeah.
What kind of, get the much closer so we can hear him. Okay, and what are you planning to do? Are you in music, or what do you do?
I don't know yet.
You're just trying to not have anybody bother you, right?
Yeah.
Why aren't you sitting in the back of the room? Normally, if you don't want to be called on, that's me. When I was in school, I hated school. I really did. I hate to say that, but I did. I absolutely hated school. So I'd sit in the back of the room if I could, so that they wouldn't call on me. But they called on me anyway. I always ask this, anybody not want to be here? Wow. Okay, usually I have at least one. I said, no, I don't want to be here. So, okay, fine, go back to class.
And then you call on.
Well, yeah, but I've actually had a number of kids that say, well, no, I don't want to be here. I said, what, are you crazy? I mean, you'd rather go to class than do something like this and get out of class? That's me. Who wants to talk about politics? Me. Yes, you. Okay, well, then we'll start with you. All right. Who are you supporting? How old are you, first of all?
I am 16.
Okay, so you can't vote yet.
I cannot vote.
Unless you want to vote for the Democrats. Because the Democrats, they let anybody vote, right? Illegal aliens.
That's true.
You can vote multiple times.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Okay. I'm going to talk to you later. All right. You're going to sign up. Okay, what's your name?
Maggie.
Maggie. And you are don't tell me, a sophomore.
I am a junior.
Damn it.
You were close.
I was close, yeah.
Last year I was.
Okay. What do you want to talk about politics?
Anything. You want to talk about the presidential race?
Yeah, let's talk about the governor.
Let's talk about the
No,
governor.
I'm just kidding. We'll talk about the governor later. Yeah, let's talk presidential. It looks like Donald Trump is going to win the nomination if things keep going the way they're going.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
It's a little scary.
Really?
Not gonna lie. I think he's a very brash person, and the thing that worries me most, especially in our world today, because it's so based on foreign policy and tensions are very high. I feel like with his brash personality and kind of like guns ablaze and attitude, that could just destroy everything we've worked for the past couple decades.
Okay, well, I promised everybody I'm not going to fight with any students today. Okay, so I want to hear what you have to say. I disagree with you totally, but I'll say why. So who do you like in this?
Well, I would have to say I don't really like any presidential candidate as of this point, but if I had to pick one,
I'm starting to like
it
you
would
better
be
already.
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie, who else supports Bernie Sanders? Who else? Look at this. What would you say? Majority of hands for Bernie Sanders. Okay, let's talk. Why Bernie Sanders? Then we're going to go to something else.
Honestly, it's just because I severely dislike Hillary Clinton.
Anybody here like Hillary Clinton? It's just a don't raise. Nobody's raising their hand. You can raise. Oh, there's one over here. Oh, please get over here.
Jason,
All right. Tell me why you like Hillary.
Because I mean, a lot of people like Bill Clinton, and I just feel like she would pass on what he did.
But she's not Bill Clinton. She's Hillary Clinton, not Bill Clinton. See, I think a lot of people who think of Hillary Clinton, they think, oh yeah, this is going to be another 4 years of Bill. It's not. It may be another 4 years of Bill, having a good time with interns, perhaps, but it's not going to be.
She would be a really good first lady.
All right, and what's that?
You would be a really good first lady, better than Michelle Obama ruining our lunches.
Oh, now you could. The lunches are bad?
yes.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, it doesn't really matter to me because I don't take a lunch anyways because I have like 5 band classes, but still.
What's wrong with the lunches?
They just don't taste as good. They used to be like really fat and greasy, and I like that.
Fries and burgers and
Yeah.
bacon.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with you on that. So what is it now?
I
Whole wheat.
The same thing.
like just raw vegetables, I guess.
All right, tell you what, we're going to take a break. Okay, we'll continue this conversation. I want to hear more from you about why you like Hillary. Why you don't think she's a big fat liar?
Well, yeah, I do.
But you're going to support her anyway.
Well, no, because I can't.
Can't what?
I'm only 16.
Well, I know, but you can support them. You can campaign for them, right? I mean, you can talk to your friends and be friends with your parents and all that stuff. You can do that. Nobody's stopping you from doing that if you want to. All right, we're going to take a time out. 12:15, Mike Kunsek here at Baldwin High School, the home of the Highlanders on KDKA.
AAA traffic, 5,000. At Parkway Center, down towards the 40 the outside occasional slow range earlier accident, Madison at 279, also 51 at the
Yeah. Yeah. Here, why don't we turn that TV on? Get it on 50. Here. Yeah, I know you.
Does the volatility on Wall Street scare
It's hard. But the volume is really low right now, so maybe that's why. I couldn't hear me.
Are you taking on too much risk and you don't even know it? The question is, how much money can you afford to lose? Now imagine getting 6 to 7% on your money for income purposes. Yeah, 6 to 7% year in and year out, and your money is totally insulated from the roller coaster on Wall Street. Well, Gary Hunt says don't worry about the volatility in the stock market anymore. If you want to learn how you can get 6 to 7% on your money, talk to Gary Hunt. If you've saved at least $100,000 for your retirement, talk to Gary Hunt. Call Gary Hunt right now at 724-382-6585. That's 724-382-6585. Gary Hunt of Hunt & Associates, 724-382-6585. Guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Loan is a 30-year fixed rate loan with a 1-0
Let's go to live
This payment
commercial.
valid only during the first 12 months. Plus, payments in the first 12 months of your loan is based on a rate that is under support and your interest rate is not allowed.
Yeah, just give me 15 seconds. That'll give you some stuff to think. All wrapped up. We'll figure this stuff out. So the person is
Coming in, do you have the phone? It's talking to an audience. Ron Howard says like the most horrible things. Am I thinking it right? Howard Stern. Oh, Howard Stern. There you go. If you said Rush Limbaugh, I would come after you. Dude, Nick, if you said Rush Limbaugh, I would come after you. He's
Yeah.
Because when I was young, I remember do you remember back in 5th grade? You can go with it. Like, remember 5th grade, that talent show that we did and all that stuff? Yeah, that's where I kind of got started with it. And I hated the director who did it. She was so mean to me. That's why I kind of got the idea, because I always like to be like the shining star. You're good to be a shining star sometimes. What kind of questions would you ask him? Ask who?
I like to
Not really.
Yeah.
So crowded.
Hey, Glenn, generally speaking, you don't have to tell me that the traffic is coming up. Because every time you do that, everything cuts out. All right.
1, 2, red.
Well, they're a part of a larger band. Our marching band is phenomenal. The concert band during the winter is very good. The jazz band is good. Orchestra, chorus, and we really do have a very strong music football.
Yeah, apparently. But I mean, do they do like private events? Because I know some schools do that.
They don't, but they'll play a lot for nursing homes and community
Well, that's
service,
what I'm
things like
talking
that.
about.
Yes, that's the kind of they will do that.
Well worth it. They're really, really good. And it means something to me because when I was in high school, I played in the band, I played in the marching band, the orchestra, and the jazz band. So I'm very impressed. You guys are really good. Just FYI. Of course, you know that, but I'm just giving a shout out. We're going to go back to politics in a minute. But I got to talk to these young ladies because they have to scoot out of here soon. And you have something special that you want to tell us about.
Yeah, on February 6th.
Well, first of all, wait a minute. Hold on a second here. Okay. What's your name?
My name's Mariah.
Mariah. And you are?
I'm Sam.
Okay. All right. Mariah, go ahead. That's a great name, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Well, on February 6th, we held a blood drive here, and the junior class and the National Honor Society ran it, and it was in honor of a local girl named Bella Smolko, and she has a rare blood disease called Langerhans cell histiocytosis.
No wonder you have it. I know she's got this written down on an index card. Now I said, what is it again? Say it again.
Langerhans cell histiocytosis.
Wow. Okay. She goes to the school?
No, she's 1 year old, and she was diagnosed when she was 8 months old.
Wow. Okay, so you held a blood drive on her behalf.
Yeah.
Okay. But you wanted to add something?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So we were named Blood Drive of the Week by the Central Blood Bank, and we also had a big sale there, which we raised $250 for the Children's Free Care Fund.
Cool. Congratulations. You wanted to add something else?
Yeah.
You weren't done, right? I interrupted you. Of course I did.
We had 137 donors, and that was enough to raise, save enough. That was enough blood to save 369 lives of patients.
Okay. So that's very good. Yeah. Congratulations on it. Can they get a nice little laugh?
If I'm being honest, I don't pay attention to politics. Like, I don't know. I just don't.
Well, I want you to be honest. Don't make it boring. If you want to make stuff up, go ahead. But, if you're going to make something up, make it outrageous then, all right?
But I can vote because I'll be 18 by the time the elections come around in November. But I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, I know I should care probably, but it's not a big problem.
So you will be 18. You will be. Yes. Are you going to register to vote, or
yes.
You're not going to bother?
No, I'll register, but I don't know if I'll vote or not.
You don't? Okay. Because if you're going to say, well, yeah, I'm going to vote, you know, my listeners are going to say, what's wrong with these kids today? Because they don't even know what's going on, and then they're going to go and vote anyway. Why don't you care?
It's just not, I don't know. I feel like it causes too many problems, and people have their opinions, and like I have mine, and I'll just not get into an argument about it. Just keep it to myself. Okay. That's just how I feel.
All right, well, I'm asking, it's just us. Nobody else.
Okay,
no one else is going to know what you say. It's just between you and me. So who do you like?
If I had to choose, I'd probably, my friend, she made me go on this website. It was like whoisidewith.com or something. I took all those things, and I got Bernie Sanders, so I guess. There you go. I guess I'm with him.
And many of you raised your hand when you said you support Bernie Sanders, right? Yeah. Well, and nobody's raising their hand now. You raised them earlier. Bernie Sanders. How about Donald Trump? Anybody Donald Trump? One guy. We're going to talk to you later, okay? I'm kind of bumping up against a break here, so I will talk.
Who do you side with?
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Just between us.
No, me.
Just between us.
Even get offended.
I've been a Trump guy since day one. I love Donald Trump. At first I thought he's just playing around. He's hoping for better ratings on his TV show. Then I realized, just like that he's serious. And all these other media types and all these windbag political consultants and analysts who say, oh, he's going to fizzle, he's going to fizzle. They've been wrong, right down the line. I like the guy. He tapped into something. But younger people are turned on by Bernie Sanders, and I understand that too. So we're going to talk some more about that coming up. 12:25 here at Baldwin High School on KDKA. You know what? Your feet can make you absolutely miserable. Think about it. If your feet and your shoes and your body don't work in good conjunction with each other, you get a foot pain, you get a heel pain, you get a knee pain, back, shin splints, hip, all kinds of stuff. One of the solutions is orthotics. Now, you can buy orthotics in the drugstore, like off the shelf, one size fits all, right? Or you can go to Foot Life, like I did. Foot Life in Murraysville. Why Foot Life? Because only Foot Life in this area uses state-of-the-art gait analysis. This is high-tech stuff with the in-shoe pressure mapping, and then they do a laser scan of your foot to fit you absolutely precisely. So these are not the generic orthotics at the drugstore. These are made just for you. Foot Life, 724-327-0000, footlife.com.
You know, the future of power is changed by that first energy.
Are we getting a Okay, good. Yeah, if you hear anything from the pizzas, they're from
I mean, it should say poor connection.
And Clint, when you come back with these, give us public review. We're not going to do the same this time.
Oh, yeah,
It's going to be real quick. Yeah.
What did you say? Yeah, he's turning on the TV. Yeah, who's turning on the TV right now?
As a business owner or employer, you work hard to keep your company on track and running. The one that is and the risk to your business. Behavioral health is Western PA specialist in employee drug alcohol training. College offers free training sessions for employees and benefit programs to address your company's specific needs. Training session 726-4565. It's confidential.
Ask them if they're connecting to the TV if they're broadcasting.
Are you guys getting a broadcast or is it on? It says up here that the satellite broadcast is like completely not showing. Alright, Mr. Ross is getting the sound.
Hey, join us today and tomorrow. No, I take that back. Just today, because this is over at the end of this day for James Garrity, who's the man in the box for the Salvation Army, the Highmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and KDKA, presenting Man in the Box to help raise awareness of homelessness in our community. You can support Man in the Box and help Salvation Army by stopping down at PPG Place downtown today, or by visiting our website, kdka.com/box. As a matter of fact, we're going to make a call over there to the box where James Garrity is being a homeless guy for the rest of this day, and we'll talk to him coming up after we check the latest news right now on KDKA.
From the Lexus of North Hill Studios, this is the Voice of Pittsburgh News. Now,
We got out. Yeah, 5-6 minutes. Brian Newcastle is not on. Brian Newcastle is not on.
It's not the end of it. Yeah, I mean.
Okay, front. Yeah, someone from work myself. Checking out. People can have problems. It's not going to fall. Oh, yes. So Are they still working really late? I don't know. Well, they look.
You should check in another room and see if it was broadcast.
Right, I'll just let him know. They're getting this to screen.
It says the connection's fine up here. It says the connection's fine up here.
Connection's fine up here.
Senior for everybody.
Josh, get out of my chair. Another one over there. It's fine. I'm just mad because Aaron was rock stash and wants to fuck let me go to Tuesday. I know. Miss Ray told me no. But that helps me actually do things. I had my own stuff. I put them to get my chair. And then Garrett, which is an asshole. Yeah, you got like scared. Josh.
Okay.
I don't make him make sure.
What?
Ross is on the wrong network. Their communication is unfrozen.
What?
Their live feed is unfrozen.
What do you mean?
They're getting their picture now.
Oh, okay. You could have just said that. It says it's fine up here.
That's not mine just told me it's unfrozen. It's not frozen anymore.
Is Ross trying to change the channel? No, I don't know. We think this room might just be broken because that can happen.
Strength is off. Yeah, because we tried 2 different rooms and they're fine in these 2 rooms.
Yeah, so this room's just broken. That can happen.
It's still working.
11 to 31.
Oh, I see.
1, 2, ready, and.
Hey, James, I saw you last night on TV.
Oh, that's great. Glad you're watching.
Well, later on this afternoon, we're going to have you on for a longer period of time, and I want to talk to you about last night because you were out at the Salvation Army homeless shelter, and you were talking to some of the folks there, and really good stuff. And I want you to, just talk about some of the high points later. But just right now, just tell us what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Mike, we're sitting in a box right here in Market Square. I'm in between the ice rink and Market Square itself. We're in this little stretch here, the Five Guys. We are trying to help the Salvation Army raise $25,000. We need help. We really want to hit this goal. Really want to help them keep doing the work they do for the homeless in the area. So, a couple easy ways to do that. A, stop by, say hello. Like you should see some of the people stopping by. I had Patty from the North Hills came up, total stranger, just wanted a hug. Some of the nicest people in the world are stopping by and saying hello. You can drop money into kettle when you stop by. You can jump online, kdka.com/box, or you can text the word box to 91999.
Yeah, she gave you a hug because you looked like you needed it. She thought you were a homeless guy, and you're down on your luck, man.
That's real nice.
All right, we'll talk.
By the way, I heard that music. That jazz band sounds pretty good, man.
They are really good. They are awesome. Go ahead, give yourselves another round of applause. Yeah. I tell you what, I could stand up here. You could do the rim shots. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
No. What the hell? What? Okay. 12:39 now on KDKA. I'll turn to the principal here real quick. Bernie Sanders, because I got the dollar bank instant access. By the way, you can send the dollar bank instant access message to ask a question or make a comment. Ask a question of these kids. They'd be happy to answer you. Our number, first of all, is 866-391-1020. So we can take your calls if you want to dial in. Or you can send us a message to our dollar bank instant access and send it to this address, instantaccess@kdka.com. Principal, you wanted to tell us about first of all, you said to me something off the air, and I want you to repeat it.
I've been in education for 27 years. I've been the principal in 3 different high schools, and the students at Baldwin High School have been the nicest that I've encountered, and I mean that sincerely. They're just the nicest students and just very helpful, very friendly, and very supportive of one another. So it is true. They're very.
Wait a minute, Mark, put that microphone in front of this guy again. What were you trying to tell me?
I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's why I think he just said that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
just made sure you knew it was me.
Yeah, absolutely. I got that. The other thing is your band is going to Chicago.
You're
going on a trip.
Yeah, they're going on a trip to Chicago. That'll be in May.
All right. Let's go back to this guy, but I forget. No, the guy back there.
Zach.
Yeah. Oh, Zach. Okay. And I forget why I wanted to talk to you, but I know I wanted to talk to you.
Trump.
You're a Trump man.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. So why Trump?
I really think that the economy in the country needs to get back where it once was, and I think he's the guy that knows what to do. He's got the right tools, and he's going to do it.
Okay, but your fellow student over here, and I forgot her name. I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Maggie.
But wait, go back to get the microphone back there.
Maggie.
Okay, so Maggie, you're scared to death of Donald Trump.
I am.
Why is she wrong?
I think a lot of people think that he's kind of over the top, abrasive, but you really need that in politics. He's not afraid to maybe turn some people away because he stays true to what he wants to do, and I just think he's a great guy.
Well, I wanted to answer your, I'm not here to argue with you. I just wanted to make one point, because somebody said this to me last night, or yesterday afternoon. They said, that Trump, he's just bombastic, and I don't know, I'm scared if he's going to have his finger on the button, the nuclear button. I'm afraid of what he might do. And I said, wait, let me ask you, because he's so impulsive. I said, let me ask you something. Is Donald Trump a successful businessman? Why don't you answer that?
Yes, he is.
Absolutely. What do you mean you're saying no? How can you say that?
He's not a successful businessman. His businesses have gone bankrupt in the past. The only reason he even has that much money is because he inherited it from his father and put his face on it.
Okay, you want to respond to that?
I think in business, you can't fail. He's back on top. He's been on top many times before.
Honestly, lots of businessmen, he's right, lots of business people go bankrupt and they reorganize. That's the system, that's how it works. General Motors is a perfect example.
But here's one thing.
General Motors is still in business. They went bankrupt. By your criteria here, General Motors is a piece of crap. And not successful.
Would we let the president who let General Motors fail run the country's economy? Would we let that happen?
Oh, fighting words there. The only thing I wanted to say about let me finish my point to you. Donald Trump may sound impulsive and appear to be impulsive, but he hasn't gotten to where he is by being over the top impulsive, recklessly impulsive. And so he's striking a chord with a lot of people. Maybe not in this room, but with a lot of people. I know she's laughing. Anything else you want to add to that?
Not really. I just think he knows what to do with the country, and I'm voting for him.
Okay. Are you old enough to vote?
Yeah, I'm a senior. I'm 18 now. So.
Okay, outstanding. All right. Who else is 18? Okay, you. Let's go over and get a different voice. Can we get somebody over? Oh, wait a minute. I couldn't see you. Did you did you want to comment?
If you want me to.
I do. I couldn't see you until he moved. Then I saw your hand up. Go ahead.
I'm voting for Bernie Sanders. His college plan is really smart. He has a plan to lower the national debt, and he's a good politician.
Okay, and I'm glad you said all those things, because here's what we call a dollar bank instant access. It's an email.
Okay.
And sometimes it's a question. Most of the time it's a comment from our listeners.
Okay.
Okay, so Daniel writes, well, of course these high school kids are supporting Bernie Sanders. They're going to get a bunch of free stuff, they think, and they don't have to pay any taxes to get it. What about that?
Well, I disagree that, like, he's not paying our college 100%. He's just offering a better solution to pay for college, such as the taxes, and we're going to be paying the taxes anyway. So I don't really see how that is that big of an issue for.
But okay, but what Dan is saying, in so many words, and I'm going to interpret for him here, because I think what he's getting at, I'm pretty sure what he's getting at is that there really isn't free lunch. There's not a free education. Somebody's paying for that. You do realize that, right?
Yes.
And so since you are now headed, are you a senior?
Yes.
And are you going to college?
Yes.
So you're hoping Bernie Sanders is going to come through and give you a free education?
Well, not exactly. I do feel that students should pay for their education to a point, but not the outrageous prices of $60,000 a year.
Well, I would agree with you as well. But one of the reasons for that is because of the subsidized loans that are out there. And so the colleges then say, oh, look, they can get more money from the subsidized loans, so we can jack up our tuition. We can pay our professors, and especially the administrators, the big shots, the students, pay them more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So those are some of the things that I do think Bernie it gets it right. Not about a free education, but making some changes so that these tuition rates are not so damn high.
I agree.
All right, we'll talk some more. 12:45, we're going to check on traffic of the fives right now on KDKA. How are we doing? It's 1 o'clock for episode 2, right?
Okay, because Nick's going to be next.
Highlanders and
this way.
Guests of Principal Baldwin Graves. And this gentleman back here, you wanted to, well, first of all, what's your name?
My name's Nick.
Nick, and you said you wanted to say something. I have no idea what you want to say.
Yeah, well, people were talking about Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders, and all I was saying is like, it's somebody emailed you saying how like, of course we'd be for Sanders because we could like utilize the system.
Because you want free stuff.
Well, yeah. No, what I was just saying is like somebody like Donald Trump, of course he'd be like, of course he could see our side of wanting to utilize the system. I mean, he's a man who's utilized the system dozens of times.
Very
he's
true.
Claimed bankruptcy 10 times, I think it is, or something.
I don't think it's 10 times.
But I was saying, of course he could see our side because we would want to utilize the system just like he would, just like any sound person would.
Well, then a listener named Matt writes on Dollar Bank Instant Access. Do these kids understand that if they get their free college now, they're going to end up paying for other people's free college later?
Of course we would. I mean, like any person has to realize that. I personally am not for a free education. All I'm saying is that, of course, we would want to utilize the system just like anybody else would.
Okay. All right. Let's move up here. I'm sorry. Move over there, and then we're going to move up here. Okay. You're the keyboardist.
Yes, that's me. Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Yasmin.
Jasmine.
Yasmin, the wife.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's fine. No, it's okay.
All right. So you said you wanted to say something as well.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of shift the topic of discussion with Trump because we're all talking about how he's going to be a terrible president and the college, blah 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 blah. I just want to know, how do you feel about his perspective on women?
How do I feel?
Yes, I want to know how you feel.
I think that's his business. You tell me this. What is his perspective on women?
Okay, well, take for example, there's this really popular quote that's been going around talking about his daughter Ivanka, how if she wasn't his daughter, she would be dating him. Do you really want a man?
I actually did not hear that statement.
Yes, he did.
Are you sure he said that?
I'm sure he did. I have the quote right here if you'd like to
Well, go ahead.
Okay, here we go.
Well, you came armed, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, he goes, I don't think Ivanka would pose, and he's implying that she would pose for Playboy. Although she does have a very nice figure, I've said if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Well, he does have a proclivity for younger, beautiful women. Does he not? I think he was, in his own way, in the Donald Trump way, paying his daughter a compliment. Now, you may not like that. Why are you offended by that?
I mean, it shows how much he respects the woman as a whole. Do you think?
You think he does not respect women?
No, I do not think.
Why do you think that?
I mean, that's a pretty raunchy statement, especially someone who's running to be president.
It's off the wall, but he said the other day there was a heckler in the audience, and he said, I just want to punch him. You know what? I feel like that sometimes. Everybody does. He kind of touches a nerve. When I say that about, I don't have a daughter, but if I had one, I don't think I'd say that. That's like off the wall, but it sounds to me like a Donald Trump form of a compliment.
I mean,
do you think he doesn't treat women fairly? Do you think he does not value women?
no, I do not believe he values women.
Okay, for that reason, you're going to vote for Hillary because she's
Oh
woman.
no! Oh God, no! No!
Okay, I thought I had you there for just a second.
No, you didn't.
So who are you supporting?
Well, personally, when I'm old enough to vote, I'm 17 right now.
Okay.
I consider myself an independent party. I do not agree with any of the presidential candidates.
Okay.
At all.
Not even Bernie.
No, Bernie Sanders leans towards socialism, and I don't think socialism is working.
Wow. All right, let's go. Thank you. Let's go over here, right here.
Name's Jared.
Yeah, you're supporting Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz he's in trouble. Not good. All right, go ahead.
I'm supporting Ted Cruz. Why can't yet? Because I'm only 15.
That's okay. You don't have to say that.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, you have the right to an opinion.
Yeah, I like his firm belief in the Constitution.
Okay.
He's on the right track.
Trump says he's the biggest liar he's ever met.
Trump lies.
All politicians lie. And Trump is a politician. He's just not a typical politician. Yeah.
I like his plans to beat ISIS. And
how do you feel about the dealing with illegal immigrants, building a wall like Trump wants to do, rounding them up?
I don't think that's really not.
Go ahead.
Syrian refugees. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's really a problem in our national security.
You don't want the Syrian refugees here. No. Anybody want Syrian refugees coming? We're right behind you there, Carmen. No, right here, Carmen, right there. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. As far as the Syrian refugees are concerned, since Ellis Island, and we've been bringing in that's America. We are a melting pot of people. I don't feel as though just because there are some extremists in the world that, as Americans, we should change our values and start refusing people to come to us.
So just open the door to Syrian refugees, even if some ISIS guys.
When you think about the process of what's required to get a visa to come here and even get on airport grounds, it's over a year and a half of systems to go through, people to talk through, clearances to go
All right. I have to take a break here. I'm already over one, but I'd love to talk with you more about that. 12:55 right now on KDKA.
Yeah, the one that's you know what it's
That's about like 5, 7, 3/4. And I think that guy's like. My dad is
Oh, dude, you need to talk about
Oh my god.
We're going to get on the phone line right now with an alumni of the school, graduated several years ago, and is actually now just graduating shortly from Duquesne University. And he's got a special thing that happened to him that we wanted to recognize, first of all. But it all got started here at Baldwin High School. On our Business Newsline right now, Julian Rao. Julian.
Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Where are we reaching you right now?
I'm actually in my dorm here at Duquesne University.
And you were a graduate of Baldwin, about 4 years ago?
Yeah, about 2012.
Okay. And you are now in journalism. And you kind of got started here at Baldwin High. Your principal was telling me that Baldwin has an outstanding journalism program and an outstanding student newspaper. You were a part of all of that?
Yeah, I was. I was the editor-in-chief of the Herbalife for 2 years, actually. I had a co-editor, and we edited the newspaper. It was one of the most wonderful experiences I've ever had.
And so now your degree you're going to graduate what? It's coming up very shortly, right? This year?
Yeah, in May.
In May from Duquesne. And your degree is in what?
My degree is in multi-platform journalism.
Oh, okay, all right. But the big news for you is that you got a special internship. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so in June I'm going to be moving to Washington, D.C. I'm starting a 10-week internship program with the Wall Street Journal at their Washington Bureau, which is pretty much their hub for covering politics. So I will be the lone political intern covering the crazy presidential race that we have this year. And I'm very excited about it. I'm also pretty nervous about it, too.
Yeah, well, you know what, you said, I figured you're pretty excited about it, but you have to be apprehensive about that. So are you going to be covering any particular campaign?
I'm actually not sure yet. I know that the Wall Street Journal does travel with all of the campaigns, and they're, during primary season, they are going from state to state visiting the primaries. So during the general election, I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing, but I am told that I will be able to immediately sink my teeth into the presidential election
Whether that means I'll go with the campaign, I'm not sure, but that would be very cool to follow Donald Trump around for a little bit.
Oh, okay, so you're enamored with Donald Trump. Now, as a journalist, you know you can't take sides. You're at least not supposed to, right?
Of course, but he's providing us with very many stories.
Yeah, I know. I read something today where there was a column of some commentator was saying, well, finally the media gets it. Finally they're coming around to the notion that, you know what, maybe we should take Donald Trump seriously. It's not just all entertainment and bombast.
Yeah, I think that's shocking everybody in the newspaper industry that first he was like,
well, that's one of the voted for Barrier. She's all upset because she feels that Donald Trump is a sexist. Would that be fair?
I'm not upset.
All right, hold on a second. Get the mic.
I wouldn't consider myself upset. I'm just looking out for the
Well, you seemed kind of angry. I mean, you were like loaded for bear when you were attacking me.
Well, no, I wasn't. I know. I think you're a very eloquent speaker, and I was listening to what you had to say. I was just waiting, to.
No, but thank you. But I mean, I'm not. It's not my job to defend Donald Trump, quite frankly. But he does say a lot of. Let me ask you this. On that point, Julian Routh, who was a graduate of Baldwin a few years ago, is now about to graduate from Duquesne, and he's got an internship with the Wall Street Journal. How would you describe Donald Trump? You're hoping to cover his campaign. Of course, you're going to do what they tell you to do, right, in the internship. But you're hoping to do Donald. How would you describe him?
well, I do think that what he's doing right now is, he's sort of pandering to the obviously far-right extremist portion of the Republican Party. But I think once, it comes around to the general election, you'll start to see him draw back on some of his terms and sort of obviously get towards the middle. But he's even said some actually very liberal things in the past couple of weeks, including criticizing President Bush on the Iraq War. But yeah, I do think once you're covering it now, you have to realize that he's saying these things to really get to people's actual anger that they have. And there's a very angry section of the Republican Party. So actually, I assume once maybe May comes around and he does get the nomination, you'll start to see a more sane Donald Trump.
Well, on that point, he himself said the other day, although I have yet to see this, he himself said the other day that he's going to be speaking more presidentially in the not too distant future, very soon. But he hasn't said when he's going to do that. Okay, so you're looking forward to that. You obviously have we're talking with Julian Routh. He is a graduate of Baldwin High School. He was on the school paper, got interested in journalism, went on to Duquesne University, going to graduate with a what do you call it, a multi-level journalism degree?
Multi-platform journalism. It's kind of like an intersection between video, radio, and print.
So, okay, which one of those is most fascinating to you, do you think? Which one do you think you would pursue?
I've always been a print guy, but of course the times are changing, and you do have to become multi-versed, and you have to have so many different things on your resume nowadays. And I honestly think that's what the Wall Street Journal liked about me, and also what the Post-Gazette liked about me. I worked for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette last summer at their local news desk, and I think you have to have those aspects. So that's why I did pursue this degree. But honestly, I've always been a print guy at heart. I love picking up the actual newspaper every morning. I've been doing it for a really long time, and I actually have it with me right now. I don't want this ever to go away.
Okay, and what did you do for the Post-Gazette? You said what kind of stories did you cover?
I was a local news intern, so I did a lot of breaking news stories. I did a lot of explorative investigative pieces. I think I ended up writing 33 stories in one summer, which was actually probably more than most of the full-timers did at that time. But I was everywhere, every day. Wow. And the real workforce there, but yeah.
All right, one last, I have 1 minute left here before we need to take a break and say goodbye, but you got interested in politics. Why and how?
I do. I think the interest in politics has definitely come recently in the last couple of years. I've always been sort of fascinated with the political system, but especially since this election cycle started, this particular election has been so captivating from the beginning, and just the will to cover it. It's such a weird, unconventional election that my interest in politics is expanding every day because I'm seeing new ways to cover it, because these candidates are a very ecstatic bunch, And I think that I'm very much looking forward to it.
All right, well, we wish you good luck, and it sounds like you're going to have a great time. Although you're somewhat apprehensive, that is perfectly normal, and actually that will help you to perform. That nervous energy is what we like to think of it as, and that's going to actually help you perform even better. Good, best of luck to you. Julian Ralph, he is a graduate of Baldwin High. He's about to graduate from Duquesne University. He's got a great internship coming up for the Wall Street Journal. He's going to be covering the presidential campaign. 1:15 right now on KDKA. Baldwin High School Jazz Band. They've been kind of serenading us with our, what we call our bumper music today. Instead of the canned stuff, the recorded stuff that we normally play, it's live, and they're just outstanding. In fact, I want to read this message. We can't take $1 instant access messages, so you can email me at instantAccess@kdka.com. We can also take calls. In fact, the principal here and I were just talking about that. We can take your calls if you've got a question for these kids and you'd like to get that in. Do it. 866-391-1020. It's the usual number. So we can't take your call, or you can send me a $1 instant access message, instantAccess@kdka.com. So that's what Jeff did from Venango County. Jeff says, Mike, it sounds like a lot of smart, mature kids attend that school. You guys think that's true?
Yeah. Yes.
They're very respectful. You don't have to be as respectful with me. I'm just a guy in the street. And pretend the principal's not here, okay?
Oh, now it's going to get interesting.
All right, you wanted to talk about guns. What's your name first?
I'm Caleb.
Caleb, all right, what about guns?
I mean, really anything.
You want to talk about a Glock or Beretta, Glock versus Beretta versus...
Just, I guess, the gun debate.
Okay, what about it? Where do you stand on it? I have no idea what you're saying.
I'm pro-gun. I believe in the Second Amendment in the fact that it's a God-given right and a constitutionally given right for you to have a gun and protect yourself and your family.
Now, how's it a God-given right?
You have a God-given right to protect yourself.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant it was a God-given right to have a gun.
No, you have a right to protect yourself.
I agree with you. I totally agree. Are you worried, all throughout the Obama administration, we heard from the gun rights folks. Obama wants to take your guns. The Democrats want to take your guns. Do you believe that? Do you think that's true?
Yes, they do.
They do. Why?
I mean, they go on and they want to have legislature and things passed to start. They have slowly start with assault rifle bans. You can't have certain sized magazines. You can't have this. You can't have that. You have to have this special type of license to have this gun. And it's really, all of it is against the Constitution.
So you believe it's all an effort, little by little ratcheting?
Right. It's little by little effort to slowly take parts of it away. So it seems like they're not going to come straight out and say, you can't have guns anymore, because that would be met with negative, that would be met negatively.
I think there's
so
a rebellion at that point. I don't know whether I think their ultimate goal would be, if they could, to do exactly what you're saying. Does anybody disagree with what he just said? Well, somebody else this time. Okay, I'll go back to you, but that's okay. Go ahead.
You mean that the Democrats are trying to take away the guns?
Or that you have a God-given right to have a gun. In so many words.
Okay. If guns weren't made, then there's this issue wouldn't. Okay, I sound like an idiot.
I wasn't going to say that. It depends on where you're going with this. All right, well, that's fine. I mean, that's okay. I don't want to put you on the spot.
Okay.
You can raise your hand.
Okay. I don't think that all guns should be taken away, but I do feel like that people should be tested to have a gun. There should be protection in the
background check.
Yeah, background checks.
Yeah.
But also someone could be insane at any moment, so you have no idea.
Well, right.
Also, someone could have like some kind of minor therapy thing that was just like they were just depressed at one point, and then they wouldn't be able to get a gun. And what if they wanted a gun to protect themselves? So that's another thing.
All right. Well, there are background checks, and they want.
But a bigger background check.
Yeah, they're talking about the gun show loopholes and stuff like that. Those are not as big as they would have you believe that. As you can probably tell, I'm the Second Amendment supporter myself. And
Yeah,
I
but
always
also with the Second Amendment, it talks about like militia and stuff.
Yeah, but the right of the people to keep, and the Supreme Court is actually ruled. Are you concerned, wait on the microphone. Bring this microphone back over here for just a second. Are you concerned that the Supreme Court nominee of Obama is going to ultimately be the swing vote to take, to change the meaning of the Second Amendment or reinterpret it?
Well, I mean, number one, even if he nominates someone, he's not going to get put in because it has to go through Senate, and Republicans control the Senate, so he won't get elected anyway.
All right. So your number one issue is gun. Well, real quick, I got 10 seconds here. What did you want to say?
No, I just want to say that I think the larger issue is people are afraid of what they don't know a lot about. As a gun-owning citizen, I've been raised around guns. Guns aren't the problem; it's people.
I totally agree.
Right.
I absolutely agree. All right, 125. We've still to come. We're going to talk more about politics. Also, a subject that these folks want to talk about is Michelle Obama's food rules for lunches in school, and also we're going to talk about. Let's take a moment here to bring in Jim Garrity from our KDKA Radio Newsroom, the man in the box. Where are you again? PPG Place or at Market Square?
Yeah, we're in between PPG Place and Market Square. There's just that alleyway, that winky alleyway. That's where we're sitting.
Is it cold?
Yes, it's cold. Have you been outside today?
All right, so we're going to talk to you at greater length next hour. One talk about what you learned last night. You spent the night in the shelter. You didn't spend the night in the box. But why are you doing this? What's going on?
Here's the deal. We're not only trying to raise awareness about homelessness. By the way, 10,000 homes last year, 3,000 homes still 3,000 The second part of what we're trying to do here, we're trying to raise money for the Salvation Army because they are going for $25,000 to work. They do emergency disaster services. They do at the family care center and they do social services. And we're going to hit that. We're going to help them with that $25,000 today. I think we're almost there. And we're going to make a push through the afternoon, and we're going to be here until 6 o'clock to donate at the Red Kettles. You can donate online, KDKA.com/box. You can text the word box to 91999. That's all it's done.
All right, we will talk to you again next hour. James Garrett from our KDKA Radio Newsroom. He's the man in the box between PPG Place and Market Square there in that pretty windy corridor there. He says it's very cold. I should have been, I didn't ask him if he's smelling and stinking yet. We'll get to that later. All right, 1:38 on KDKA. Mike Dunsick here at Baldwin High School. They've been just so nice to us here. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about the versus the FBI. So you wanted to discuss that. Apple has gone to court against the government. The FBI wants Apple to unlock the iPhone of a terrorist in California.
San Bernardino, right?
Yeah. So your thoughts on that? Is Apple right or wrong in standing up to the government?
Well, in my opinion, I would say Apple is right because given that it is one phone and there is potentially, they're not even sure, but potential contacts of other terrorists, I feel like it's more of an invasion of private security to the rest of Apple users in our country.
I just want to be clear about something. You just said that on that phone there could be contacts of other terrorists. That's obviously the FBI. It would be a good thing to get that, right? I mean, would you agree with that?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love it for them to be able to access that information.
All right. So you recognize that, but even so, you are not in favor of Apple being forced to do this.
Correct. Simply because it's more of a matter of national security if, say, Apple does open up that back door. And if the back door is open, hackers, potentially other terrorists, could access our phones, cellular devices, find out locations, information, social security numbers, whatever it may be, personal information of whoever.
Okay. Anyone disagree with that?
I kind of disagree a little bit on it, but there's some things I do agree with it.
All right. Go ahead. What is your name, by the way?
Oh, my name's Steven.
Steven, okay.
I kind of agree with her because, there may be a back door that can be open to other terrorists and they could probably get into our personal information and stuff. But I kind of disagree with it because it, it's kind of ruining an amendment in some way between like the 4th and 6th Amendment. Like, if the government has like a warrant or something like that to pretty much get into their stuff if asked. And, I think like, the government's like being backed down because of the amendment. They're not.
So do you think, wait a minute, do you think, let me ask you this question. Do you think the government is really interested in just unlocking the iPhone so that at any time they can see our stuff or anybody else's stuff?
No.
You do not? No. You don't think that's what the government is seeking?
No, they're just trying to find out where these terrorists are. They're trying to, say like.
So you really trust the government when they said this is all we want?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you?
I would say no. I'd say it's more of kind of like looking at our history. It's like a Big Brother type ordeal, whereas the government could get access into our information. So private investigations that aren't protected under any amendments could be enacted and basically.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your statement.
Basically, just invade our privacy.
I'm going to toss this one out because this is what I said about this yesterday. It amazes me. I find it hard to believe, it stretches credulity to believe that the government, with all their spy equipment, the NSA, all the alphabet soup agencies, do not have the capability of breaking into an iPhone now. I just find that amazing. I just don't believe that. Wait a minute, right here.
I was just going to mention now, I do see both arguments on both sides. I do think that the FBI kind of has a good point where they do want to, for the safety of our country, look into that to see if they can prevent anything further. But sometimes I also find it hard to believe that maybe the people who did possess the iPhone, that they didn't kind of think it through, that, they kind of got what they knew what they were getting themselves into. So sometimes I think even they chose the iPhone C, which I believe is what the info is on, because there is no Touch ID on it. So maybe they knew, for security reasons, that they couldn't get into it there. I just think that if they opened up the iPhone, they wouldn't find what they were looking for.
Oh, really? I just have my personal opinion is I'm a little suspicious about, are they using this as an excuse to get the back door so that the spy agencies can do whatever they want behind the scenes without me knowing it? Call me suspicious, I guess I'm paranoid, maybe, I don't know. Okay, so you think that the government should have the right to get, or that Apple should back out? I think that's your point, is that right? Wait a minute, I gotta get a microphone. I just want to be clear on what you're saying.
I think that, Apple should kind of have some procedures to, back away from the majority of the funds, but only the FBI can only investigate funds that are from terrorists and criminals.
Yeah. Well, do you think that's where they'll stop? Call me suspicious and skeptical, but I'm not sure. Give it. You know who? Eric. I think his first name is Eric Snowden.
Yeah, the guy who came over, or he was a CIA or an NSA person, and he went to Russia.
Yeah, private contractor. He said that the NSA and the government have been spying all kinds of ways, unbeknownst to all of us. So knowing all of that makes me skeptical anytime the FBI says, "Oh, we have to have this because we're looking for terrorists," and this is the only thing we're going to look at. I find that hard to believe. All right, what you're pointing at him? No. Oh wait, well, you handed the phone back, or what is that? Oh, it's a radio. Okay. We are at the Baldwin Area High School, 144 on KDKA. Coming up, we're going to talk about Michelle Obama and the lunch. You guys like the lunch or not? No. Okay. The principal just told me that we have a wonderful lunch program here. So he's wrong about that. We'll talk about that coming up. And also, we'll get back to politics, and we also have some questions from some of our listeners on Dollar Bank Instant Access, and some comments that I want to read and have you guys respond to. Our high school tour continues at Baldwin High School. It is 1:45. Let's check traffic on the Fox. Continue our high school tour. Well, I want to get this guy on the line here for just a second. What's your name?
Jack Hillgrove.
Jack Hillgrove. Where have I heard that name before?
Bill Hillgrove, the voice of the Steelers.
What?
My grandfather.
Your grandfather?
Yes, sir.
My God. What's he like, really? When he's not doing his announcing and all that stuff.
He's a pretty good guy.
Is he a good guy?
Yeah.
He's your grandfather.
Yes.
Did he take care, when you were a kid, like, did he buy all kinds of cool stuff?
Yeah, he brought me a lot of pit stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Pit fans.
Oh, pit fan, okay, all right. So, are you planning to go into broadcasting?
Yes, sir, yeah.
Are you really?
Sports broadcasting.
Sports, of course you are.
Yeah.
Are you doing any of that now for the school?
A little bit. I did some football earlier in the year. Mostly sports writing for the newspaper this year.
Okay. Doing some writing and doing some broadcasting as well.
Yes.
How about TV?
No, not yet.
You guys have a TV program, don't you?
Yeah, we do with like morning announcements and stuff. I might go into that next year.
And this guy's got a camera. What is that? What's the camera for?
Oh, this is a live stream.
You're using a smartphone, right?
Yep.
I can't hear you. What is it for?
This is for live streaming across the school.
Live streaming across the school.
That's right.
Oh, cool. Okay, so who's watching this right now?
Anybody who has their TVs on all across the school. There's one in the library, in the office.
Do you think anybody's like actually watching?
Not too many people are watching it so much.
Because they're in class, right?
Yeah, class is going on, man.
All right, let's talk about the lunch program. Because I had a number of people saying to me that, Michelle Obama just ruined our lunches. All right, so where are we going? You got somebody back there? All right. Everybody's getting shy now all of a sudden. Everybody's complaining. Okay, who does not like the lunch? Okay, let's go right back there. Oh. Yeah, because you haven't talked to me before. Go ahead. Hey. Okay. Hey. How you doing?
What should I talk about?
Well, you raised your hand when I talked about the lunches.
I don't like the lunches.
What's wrong with it?
There was nachos 9th grade year and they were flame. So
yeah.
And
now?
Now they're not flame.
For those of us who don't know what that means.
Alright, they used to be really good, now they're not.
That's what I thought you meant. By the way, I love to hear it. Go to the next guy over here. This guy right here. Yeah. How about the lunches?
There's some of them that I really do enjoy, but the variety is just, I don't like it. I mean, a lot of them, as I said, were good, but some of them just run out on the taste and the flavor, and even though we're eating healthy, it doesn't taste like it.
Do you find that you're hungry more often than not? That's one of the complaints I've heard before, because this has come up when we've gone to other high schools. That kids feel like, well, okay, maybe it's okay, maybe it's healthy, but we don't feel like we get enough to eat.
Well, that all depends on what sides they get to pick, because from what I know at this school, you're allowed to pick whatever side you'd like to a maximum or a minimum. Mm-hmm. So if they're getting the absolute minimum, then of course they're going to be hungry. But if they're eating as much as they can, then I'm sure they'd be fine.
Okay. Anybody like the lunches? I see no hands up. Okay, so you all hate the lunches. Yeah. Just go down the line. Stick the microphone. Here, you stick a microphone. Some people are trying to hide from you. Like you right there.
Well, I don't eat school lunch. I pack
Oh, you
mine.
don't?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you pack in your lunch?
Well, my mom packs it.
Well, okay. I mean, technically, okay, mom pack for you.
Usually a sandwich, some chips, a snack.
Now, does that have to be inspected by the Michelle Obama food inspectors?
Yeah.
No. No. And this is all Michelle Obama's fault. And your mom, you pack your lunch because you don't like the school lunches?
Yeah.
Okay. And nobody likes the school lunches, but the principal, he's offended and ashamed and embarrassed here. Because you told me that the school lunches were great here.
No, I said I thought
Now we did it.
No, I said that I thought our cafeteria staff does a wonderful job, given the guidelines and expectations that they have to follow.
Okay.
I really did.
Talk to me about the guidelines for just a moment, because there's a lot of complaining and a lot of, this stuff has been on social media.
Yeah, whole wheat, whole grain, vegetables, portion sizes, and all that. But I think our staff does a wonderful job.
Okay, before and after, before these rules and regulations came in, what would be a typical lunch? Anybody? Right back here. Go ahead. What would be a typical lunch?
I don't currently take lunch now. I took lunch in middle school, and it would definitely. I remember everyone. There was do you guys remember the Roman Empire and that thing? Oh my gosh. That thing. It was a 12-inch hoagie sort of thing, and it had every type of meat possible on it, cheese and all that.
And you can't get that now?
No, you can't. But I think the reason the school lunch program isn't effective isn't because that there's something wrong with. It's not healthy. I don't think Michelle Obama's lunch program is healthy at all. There's nothing healthy about a whole grain piece of pizza. As a person, I love to eat healthy. There's a lot of ways that you can eat healthy, be full, and be like, wow, this is really good. And
I have tasted a whole wheat pizza.
No.
Oh my God! What were you going to say?
I just said it was the fall of the Roman Empire.
Oh, a good one. There's a little history in there. All right, 1:55 on KDKA. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to talk some more politics. We have to. These are specific class. Did you say?
No, we have a mixture. We have senior class, senior social studies.
Senior social studies. I'm sorry. All right. So we've got that. We'll talk some more politics.
And you guys.
And I'm also going to take some comments and questions from our listeners on our Dollar Bank Instant Access. You can also dial in at 866-391-1020. We can't take phone calls, so if you have a question. Hey guys, I want to, I think we have new students who've come in now for this hour. Thank you for coming and spending time with us. Anybody not want to be here? Oh, I just wonder. I always wonder. I actually had somebody who said they didn't want to be here once. I said, okay, fine, you can leave. Go back to class and study. Is this better than studying?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you. I got a couple of questions for you from our listeners who wrote to us on Dollar Bank Instant Access. Instant Access at KDKA.com is the email address. You can also call, and we can take your calls. 866-391-1020 is the number. Two people actually asked a similar question. One who calls himself Inky or herself Inky asked the kids how many have the same political views as their parents. And Dan asked the question this way: can you please ask them where they get their political information and opinions from? Do they get it from TV, the internet, parents, or someplace else? So, who goes first?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Nick.
Nick, okay.
I get all my political information and views pretty much from Twitter nowadays.
Really?
Yeah, Twitter. There's a news space where a lot of current events are going on. So there's a lot of stuff about the presidential race on there. I'll get pretty much all my information through there.
Now, is that just one Twitter account, or is that several?
It's like any tweet that has any relation to the presidential race will go in that section. We can look at.
Oh, what's it called?
It's just called a news tab.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what. Do your opinions differ from your parents?
I really don't even know my parents' political.
You guys don't discuss this at all?
All
right.
Not really.
Okay. All right, someone else. Where do you get your political opinions from?
Hi, I'm Harrison.
Hi, Harrison.
I get my political views from my parents, but also from researching in the internet. So I'm much more biased than my parents are. They're more in the middle.
Okay. Okay. So what does that mean? Give me a practical example.
They don't take as strong opinions to different issues as I do. I take very strong opinions.
Give me an example.
Generally.
Well, presidential politics. Yeah. Let's take that because that's the big deal right now.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead.
They care a lot less than I do. Like I actively I support a candidate and actively support a candidate, and they just kind of oh, okay. They don't really listen. They don't get very much.
Really?
As much as I do. Yeah, I care very much.
Okay. So you care about who?
Hillary Clinton.
Okay. Tell All right, who else is a fan of Hillary Clinton?
That just doesn't surprise me.
All right, Carmen, come over here. This girl right here, she raised her hand, sort of. You were like timidly raising your hand.
Well, yeah, I'm part of the Carmelite at our school newspaper, and I'm writing an article on the broadcast today. So I'm supposed to keep the biased thoughts to a minimum.
Yeah, but you know what? This is my show. Right. It's like, this is not the newspaper right now.
Okay.
I want to know your opinion. You raised your hand. You said you were a Hillary supporter.
Yeah, I don't, if Hillary or Bernie wins the primary, I'm happy with both of them, but Hillary, from the beginning, I liked Hillary. I was definitely on her side.
So because she's a woman?
When you say that, like, people always talk to me about Hillary and they're like, oh, you're supporting her because you're a girl and she's a girl. And that kind of belittles my opinion.
Well, I agree with that, but you've got Democrat women who are out there saying those things. Madeleine Albright, she was a former Secretary of State and brilliant woman. I met her once, got to talk. I was very impressed with her. And I was so disappointed when she made that statement about that there's a special place in hell for women who don't support other women.
Because representation is important.
Yeah,
it's important when you have little girls look up to when they want to be president of the United States. They're not looked at as seriously as a little boy who says, "I want to be president of the United States," because they have all these people who are men who have been presidents. But girls like me, when I was growing up, I never had someone who was president that was like me, and so I never thought that I could be part of that system.
But I'm sure all your life you said anybody can grow up to be president, and you didn't buy that because you're a girl. That's what that's what you're telling me.
Yeah,
right?
That there are certain standards that are set on me by society.
So therefore, because Hillary is the first woman to get this far, you must vote for her no matter what.
I don't think you must vote for her, but I think it is important to support her running.
But wasn't the feminist movement? Again, you certainly know about that, right?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't live through that, but
I didn't. No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I think the feminist movement is all about a woman should be free to make and equal to make her own decisions.
Right.
So to tell someone or to even imply to someone.
Well, you can imply to me.
No, let me finish. To imply to someone that they should vote for somebody, they should support somebody simply because of their gender, it makes a mockery, I think, of the feminist movement, doesn't it?
No, because I think when feminism, you're fighting for equality, but in order to do that, we need to be not overrepresented, but we need to be represented more than we normally are. So in order to be equal, you have to bring more attention to women.
All right. On not this subject, but we'll move on here. Kind of catapult from here. If I say to you, who is the candidate who is honest and trustworthy? Who would that be?
Trump.
Get back there. Trump. Yeah. Anyway, back. Can we get back?
We need a wall.
The microphone. Back there. Grab that guy because he raised his hand. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say Trump.
You think Trump is honest and trustworthy?
We need a wall. Okay.
Okay. All right. Go back here to this guy back here. Come on. I want to hear from some other people. What about you? Who's honest and trustworthy? If I say which candidate's honest and trustworthy? Go ahead. She can't think of a single one. Sometimes I'm with you. I really.
I would say I support Bernie Sanders. I'd say he's honest and trustworthy.
See, I would agree with you on that. Okay, I'm not supporting Bernie Sanders, but I can see why. And I've talked about this on my show. You don't know that because you're in class, and you're not going to listen to me anyway. But Bernie Sanders touches the court with a lot of people, including even me, because one of his points is that the top 1%, in fact, it's even smaller than that they have been benefiting enormously from our economy and our country through this corporate cronyism that has been occurring. And Bernie says, sometimes if they pay up, pay their fair share. I actually agree with him. In fact, I wish the rich would pay all my taxes, to be totally honest with you. Someone else back here.
No, I agree with what was just said.
Bernie.
I'm not a complete supporter of Bernie Sanders by any sense of the word. What I do like about him is that he uses funding from his supporters. He doesn't have his own super PAC. And when he, in the 70s, was governor of Vermont, he said the same things then that he says now.
Does anyone, as we're going to go to a break here, but does anyone think that consider Hillary? I know you do, but does anyone else consider Hillary honest and trustworthy?
No.
Anybody?
Who's Hillary?
No. Wait a minute. You even though you support Hillary.
Yeah, I just what?
Wait, go ahead. You think she's honest and trustworthy?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
We'll jump in.
So all this email stuff is the emails that she didn't.
Sorry. No, please.
You know about the emails.
Of course.
Okay.
As does everyone else.
And you think she was telling the truth about that?
Yeah.
And she's been proven to have lied about the Benghazi thing.
She testified in front of the special Benghazi committee for 11 hours. They found nothing.
No, that's not true.
That's all it is.
That's not true. That's not true. She actually, it was also shown that she lied about it. She knew damn well that it was a terrorist action, that it was not a film, it was not a video. So she did lie about that.
She knows, she knows it's a terrorist action. She says she knows.
At the time, she was lying to her, to a lot of people. All right, I got to do the traffic. I'm late. They're yelling at me right now. It's time to check on traffic. Let's do that. We will continue here from Baldwin High.